14%. Yeah, 14%. That is the actual number of workers around the globe who have already had their jobs significantly restructured by AI. And that's straight from a recent McKinsey report. We aren't talking about some wild, distant prediction for 5 years down the line. No way. This is happening right now, literally today.
Welcome to This Explainer. Look, today we're absolutely not dealing in hype, and we're definitely not here to doom scroll. Instead, we're breaking down the very real, pragmatic shift AI is driving across our careers, our everyday creative tools, and honestly, the legal boundaries we absolutely must navigate if we want to stay ahead of the curve.
So here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover the AI job shift, short-form storytelling rules, mastering AI video tools, navigating AI legal risks, and finally, becoming an AI operator. All right, let's dive right in.
Section 1. The AI job shift, a second wave.
Okay, so everyone always talks about automation coming for factory workers or data entry clerks, right? But there is a second wave happening right now, and it's aggressively targeting highly trained professional roles that, frankly, previously felt completely safe. I mean, look at the tools quietly being deployed at scale today. Take Harvey AI in the legal field, for instance. It's literally condensing a junior associate's 60-hour research week into seconds. Now, let's be honest, they probably won't miss those grueling 60-hour weeks anyway. Then look at Aiden in medicine, actively flagging abnormalities in scans and taking on chunks of the super competitive radiology field. In corporate video, you've got HeyGen generating completely photorealistic presenters for a tiny fraction of a human shoot. Over in software, Devin is out there autonomously running QA testing, a job usually held by junior developers. And for sales, Regie.ai is automating cold outreach sequences that, honestly, often generate way better response rates than human-written emails. Guys, this career shift is deep, and it's totally structural.
Section 2. Short-form storytelling rules. Shrinking attention.
Now, this massive technological shift, it's also totally altering the very way we communicate with each other. Shrinking attention spans have made short-form storytelling the dominant, absolutely mandatory format for brands trying to break through all that digital noise. You essentially have to fit a compelling story into maybe 30 seconds, which requires this highly compressed 4-stage micro-narrative. First up, the hook for instantaneous attention capture. Next, a lightning-fast setup to introduce the problem. Then bam, you hit them with the climax, a clear demonstration of the product or solution. And finally, the resolution, which is an emotional finale paired with your slogan. If you miss even one step well, the viewer just keeps right on scrolling.
Because user attention dissipates in mere seconds, your hook is, without a doubt, the single most critical element of your content. You need a powerful trigger. Now, that could be a visual shock like some crazy dynamic movement or a bright color flash, or it could be a provocative question like, "Did you know that?" Or maybe a bold statement promising to change their life. Or, you can use a sound hook featuring a trending audio track or a familiar melody. Incorporating at least one of these is absolutely critical for retaining viewer interest literally from second zero.
Section 3. Mastering AI video tools. Dynamic narratives.
So while those storytelling rules we just talked about are incredibly strict, the amazing news is that new AI video generation tools are giving creators unprecedented power to actually execute them. Let's compare the two absolute heavyweights in the space right now. First, we have Runway Gen 4.5. It offers native 1080p and incredible control, especially with its director mode, but individual clips max out around 5 to 10 seconds. On the other hand, there's OpenAI's Sora, also native 1080p, but it uses a storyboard mode that allows you to chain prompts together for complex clips up to 20 or even 25 seconds long. Ultimately, the crucial choice comes down to your specific creative needs. Are you looking for absolute, precise camera control over a short shot, or do you need longer narrative continuity?
And this specific feature brilliantly illustrates Runway's unique differentiator, the motion brush. So instead of just typing a text prompt and kind of crossing your fingers hoping the AI understands physics, Motion Brush allows you to literally paint up to 5 independent motion zones directly onto an image. Say you want the clouds moving left, the river flowing right, and the leaves falling downward. You just paint those zones and set the specific direction and speed. It's a real game changer because it gives professionals exact physical control. Conversely, let's look at Sora's primary strength, which is storyboard mode. This is where Sora allows users to really maximize dynamic action. You can actually chain together up to 10 sequential text prompts to build complex, continuous action across a single timeline. It's truly incredible for maintaining visual consistency across multiple shots. But just a quick word of caution here, your prompts must be logically connected.
If they aren't, the AI is going to generate some super jarring, disjointed transitions. Okay, so we have all this breathtaking creative freedom right at our fingertips to generate high-fidelity videos and copy in mere seconds. It's amazing. But it sharply bridges us to a very real, very serious question. Is any of this actually legal? Section 4. Navigating AI legal risks. High compliance risk.
The kind of uncomfortable reality here is that technology is advancing so rapidly that existing laws, like the Copyright Act of 1957, for example, inherently lack explicit provisions for AI. We can see this high compliance risk playing out in actual corporate contexts, like the strategic reports created for agencies such as BC WebWise. The industry consensus is totally clear on this. Relying solely on old, outdated laws is basically a recipe for disaster. A proactive and highly transparent approach to AI marketing is now completely mandatory if you want to avoid future liability.
To really see this evolving landscape in action, just look at India's DPDP Act of 2023. This is a critical legislative framework that mandates explicit dynamic consent for data processing. And guys, this fundamentally changes how AI works in marketing. If you're building hyper-personalized campaigns that analyze massive data sets to target users, you absolutely must completely re-engineer how you secure user consent. Why? Because under this act, that consent can be dynamically withdrawn at any single moment.
So, what does this all mean for us? What actionable steps must businesses take right now to self-regulate while the laws play catch-up? Well, first, implement robust data governance protocols. Second, ensure clear disclosure whenever AI is involved in creating an asset. You also have to actively monitor algorithmic outputs to avoid target errors, diligently manage intellectual property rights, and establish clear grievance redressal mechanisms. Look, doing these things today helps you avoid retrospective liability tomorrow, and crucially, it maintains vital public trust.
Section 5. Becoming an AI operator. Actionable empowerment.
Okay, let's shift away from the anxiety of legal risks and job displacement for a minute and move into a space of actionable empowerment. Enter the AI operator. This is a vital, rapidly growing professional role focused entirely on configuring, managing, prompting, and quality checking AI systems to multiply human output. Searches for this specific role on platforms like LinkedIn are absolutely skyrocketing. And here's the truly fascinating part. These AI operators often command much higher salaries than the traditional roles the AI systems are actually replacing.
Let's look at how you can take some specific industry-based next steps right now to become an AI operator yourself. If you're in law, go learn Harvey, not to replace your skills, but to multiply them so you can bill hours 10 times faster. If you're in tech, adopt Devin and Copilot to massively expand your coding capacity. In sales, learn to manage AI outreach tools so you can focus strictly on high-level human relationships. And if you're a creator, go master Runway and Sora to elevate your storytelling. The key takeaway here is that these tools are not threats to run from. They are absolutely force multipliers to adopt.
I want to end our explainer today with this really provocative thought. The threat and the opportunity are the same thing. The only variable is whether you're ahead of it or behind it. So don't spend your time panicking about what AI might do to your job tomorrow. Seriously, go out and test these tools today. Take control, stay focused, and keep learning.